19 hours 20 in Guyana and right across the Eastern Caribbean. You're listening to us on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM, 99.1 FM in Demerara and SC Cribble, and 99.5 FM in the Berbice area, online at kaieteurnewsonline.com/radio, on YouTube at Kaieteur Radio and the Kaieteur Radio live stream, and on our Facebook pages, The Glenn Lall Show, Kaieteur News, and the Kaieteur Radio. With that, we say namaste and welcome to the Glenn Lall Show. As you know, of course, Mr. Lall would have mentioned on his last program last week that he will be heading out on vacation. We're happy to inform you that he's okay and he's enjoying his vacation. And of course, what we will do for you this evening, we will bring to you a rebroadcast of a previous program, and we hope that you will enjoy the program. And when I say enjoy, I mean you will get to recap some of the topics that we would have touched on, and that program in particular speaks about who accept bills from a business partner without verifying the cost, and it went on to say that our leaders are doing so with Exxon. So I encourage you now to pay keen attention, to call your families and friends and let them know that they can now listen to that rebroadcast. And remember, we will do this every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 19 hours 20, and the following day at 11 a.m. until Mr. Lall return, where we will bring to you fresh programs of the Glenn Lall Show. But for the time being, like I've mentioned before, we will bring to you rebroadcast. Without further ado, we now head to who accept bills from a business partner without verifying the cost, and our leaders are doing so with Exxon.
Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
All right. I love it too. It's Monday. It's a beautiful Monday. And the Monday hasn't finished as yet.
It's still young.
Yeah. So, let me say this, Josh. I really don't have time to read the Facebook comments
It's a lot.
on this program. But I'm told from time to time, so many nice comments and remarks are being made. And then from time to time you get one and two people who would throw in some negative things.
Yeah.
Let me say this in a very nice but rude way to them, those negative people. Guys, this program is not about race, religion, or politics. All I want to do is share with the Guyanese people what I know and what I see going on in this beautiful land called Guyana with our God-given wealth. Man, if you're not comfortable and can't refute or respond in a respectful and meaningful way to the discussion, this discussion, then please don't listen to us. Turn to another radio program and enjoy yourself. Am I asking for too much there?
No, sir, you're not.
Oh man, leave us alone. If you're in love with your party and your race and your religion
Are you trying?
and your tribe, your group or your friends, man, stay with them. Go listen. If you want to listen to the wrong things, the things our politicians are saying.
The lies.
Okay, well, pardon the lies.
The gospel.
Then go ahead, man. Nobody's stopping you. As a Guyanese, every day I grieve deep within my soul.
Yes, you do.
Guys, not for myself,
For the Guyanese people.
but for the brothers, for our brothers and sisters out there who can't put biscuits in their children's lunch kit. Wait, man. Don't that bother you guys?
Of course.
That's all I've been trying to do. Fix these contracts, get it changed so that all Guyana can benefit.
Yes.
Man, if that is wrong and you don't want to listen to that, just go thy way peacefully. Leave us alone.
Say it again. Yes. Yes.
I have a very inspiring and lovely story to share with all of you tonight. I watched a video of a Ghanaian politician. He took rice to some villagers, but they throw the bags of rice back into the pickup, the vehicle, and said to him, they want jobs, they want money, not rice. These people had enough of the politicians and their nonsense. They wanted to earn enough to purchase more than just rice. They weren't looking for handouts.
Correct.
Josh, could you please share that video
Yeah, well,
with our online viewers so that they can see? I wish I could have shared that video with you, the listeners on this radio program, for you to see the action and the reaction from those people, how they responded to the politicians who take the rice, the few bags of rice, maybe 50 bags of rice, to some villagers. I pray for that day to come when our people will pelt back the hampers
yes,
in the vehicles
yes,
and tell our leaders they need their fair share of wealth
yes,
that is being stolen
yes.
from them each hour of the day by this corrupt politicians we have in this land.
Yes. Say it. Say it again.
It will come. I can feel it deep within. I love that Bobishan man that asked President Ali in his face,
Yes.
what's the interest rate Guyana is paying on all that money Exxon borrow, in which our oil is paying for?
Yes.
He told the man, oh, you looking at the Lall show? Don't worry, we have all the answers. Brothers and sisters, to this date, he never answered that simple yet most important question. That interest rate they are hiding from us, brothers and sisters, is costing our pockets, if I am not lying, more than what we are getting a year from our oil. Trust me on that one. Friday, I talked about how I have to pay $34 million judgment to Winston Brassington. I was told that a gentleman wants to contribute towards that payment. I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Guy. But if only I get the judges to give the company time to take care of it, I am happy. I don't need help from anybody. But thanks anyway. That was very sweet and kind. I am hoping by this week we will get a hearing in the High Court. I'll keep you updated. Josh, with that said, let's start tonight's program with a very, very simple question. Who accepts bills from a business partner without checking the cost?
No one. No one in the
Huh?
Nobody comes in.
No business.
Do you know of anybody?
No business owner, any business in.
Well, Guyana is doing that with ExxonMobil and all the oil players. You hear that?
Maybe they get in something.
Well, I don't know. I would like to find out that. Listen to this. Guyana has a limited time frame to audit all the spendings, all the expenses of ExxonMobil and their partners. Let me repeat. We have a limited time to check the bills. A 2-year limit to be exact.
Who gave us that limit?
Huh?
Who gave us that limit?
Who give us that
Limit.
limit?
Yeah.
Brother, is the contract what Guyana signed says so?
That illegal contract from top to bottom?
Well, I don't know yet. You talking about an illegal contract. In my mind, it's not even a contract.
It's a con, that's for sure.
Maybe, yes, that's the word. Guys, close to 20 billion US dollars done being spent on this oil sector. And our leaders are still to put together an audit team to verify those spendings.
Wow.
You didn't hear what I said.
But they do that for gas to sure.
Let me repeat, man. We already spend, or we already have in excess of 20 billion American dollars. All right? And they are telling us they are still putting together a team to verify that. To see if we were shafted, how we were shafted, and how much we are being shafted. You hear me? Yeah, that's what they're doing. So what that means, if Guyana does not start checking these spendings within the time frame, within that 2-year limit span, we just have to pay whatever bill is handed to us. You understand what I'm saying? Good.
Maybe that is the reason why they don't.
Hear what Guyana is doing. Our financial gurus hired a British firm, paid the firm 300,000 US to audit the exploration costs ExxonMobil handed us from 1999 to 2015, which we have to pay anyway because the deadline for that has passed.
Wow.
How you like that?
Wow.
This
How you like that?
1990 to 2050.
Yes, we financial gurus, Jack them, hire a British firm to check the exploration costs from 1999 to 2015, $460 million, and the time lapsed. So then, where are we? Guys, we were told that the findings in that report from the British firm is an abomination. I explained that word already. Some people say it's not even a report. So what does that mean? We have to pay the 460 million anyway. Plus, we lose the 300,000 US
There's another 60 million.
that we pay to audit that. Isn't this a beautiful country?
If you wanted to.
This is the best country to live in, man. Guyana, we were given almost $10 billion in expenses from ExxonMobil on Liza 1 and Liza 2 projects.
That's US dollars talking about.
American dollars I'm talking about. The time Guyana has to check on that has expired. You hear what I tell you? The time for the Liza 1 and Liza 2, 10 billion, has expired.
Plus you don't know the interest rate.
And we have heard nothing from our government. So that means whatever bill they throw at you, they have thrown at us in that 2 project, take it and just pay it. That money is coming out from our oil. Yes. That's what it is in a nutshell. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
You will have to pay the bill. What's going on here, brother? Sister? What is going on here, man? Can somebody tell me something?
Guy is getting fucking.
Yes.
Fuck.
Let me give you guys an example as to what I just said so you can understand it very simple and clearly. Mr. Jagdeo and Mr. Granger have a 50-50 business together. And every dollar Jagdeo spends on the business, Granger has 1 week to check the bill. If the 1 week expired, if that 1 week expired and Mr. Granger did not check the bill, it goes into the business account as is. So it means if Jagdeo buy a bundle of boer for $10,000, a tin of baby milk for $6,000, a gallon of rice for $5,000, a hammer for $25,000, a spade for $20,000, or a pint of cow milk for $3,000, and Granger doesn't check the bills in that 1 week, cat yummy dinner. Put your pot on fire. Granger has to pay that bill.
Yep.
That is what is going on with Guyana and ExxonMobil with bills. You know, I wonder if that is the same way Granger used to run the business. And the reason why I said that, because it's he and he government signed this PSA, signed the ExxonMobil deal. Guys, this is what is going on in this country with our oil business, between the leaders and the oil players. Just tell me, man, Guyana got any profit to get in this business like that? Huh?
Doubtful.
No, man, no, you have nothing to get. Knowing who ExxonMobil is the biggest con man you have in the world, not in tongue, in the world. If this type of business arrangement doesn't change and change quickly, brothers and sisters, when them done with Guyana and all of you, trust me, you'll be walking the streets without clothes.
Worse than Nigeria.
Worse than them African and Asian countries. Like I said, the US 10 billion in bills on Lisa 1 and 2 alone, time don't expire on us, in which we are stuck with that bill. There's nothing we can do about it. It's a done deal. Now we have Payara expenses, of course, which is Lisa 3, being thrown at us with a figure of another 10 billion US dollar. Hear this one, in which the time is already running out on us to check those bills. And here, man, listen to me carefully, please, Guyana. Hear what our vice president, this financial guru, who was appointed to head this oil sector by President Ali, telling this nation. Them now trying to find an audit team to check those bills. You hear me? The time is running out on the bills for Payara Lisa 3, which is another 10 billion American dollars. And this financial guru, Bharat Jagdeo, is telling us that he is now looking for an audit team to check these bills.
Wow.
Man, what a Guyana this is.
We have to pay.
Is this how people run countries? You have limited time to check the business expenses, and you allowing time to run out on you, man.
How many people Trinidad?
The people,
How many people Trinidad are checking?
Trinidad has had 38,000 people working in their oil and gas sector, checking and approving every single cent, every single thing they buy. Where is Guyana? Our vice president saying, them now looking for people. Buddy, oh man, you gotta say something in this land. Listen to this. Listen to this carefully, Bernard. The standard auditing time in oil contracts all over the world is no less than 5 to 7 years.
Wow.
In America, the minimum is 7 years. And our leaders, yes, our leaders accepted 2 years. Trotman signed on to that, and the whole coalition government was happy with it. I said the whole coalition government because Trotman made it clear on more than one occasion, and it has to be fair to the man, that he was instructed and directed to sign the contract the way it is. But wait, man, let me ask this simple question. This government will have all these financial gurus inside. Jagdev is the biggest one. Wait, man, they can't change it? Huh?
They like to say they do international best practice.
Hmm?
That's what they like to quote that international best practice they do the working money.
We have almost 20 billion US dollar through loans and in bills, and not a single word we are hearing from any politicians in this country, government and opposition, not even from auditors, accountants, or the lawyers we have in this land. Guys, you see why I always say we need the Creator's intervention now more than ever?
Yep.
As a businessman, Joshua, I am ready to bet anyone, anything, that more than half of that $20 billion is inflated costs. Any bets? Any bets? Guys, on the web page, ask them if they have any bets. Remember the Suriname prices with the boats? Yes, they are paying 12,000 US dollar a day to rent them supply boats, while we, Guyana, our financial gurus we have here, paying 55,000 US dollars a day, work or no work for the boat. Guys, that is not inflation. That is aggravation. An aggravation to the max. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
$12,000 you neighbor Suriname and Trinidad pay per day, and Guyana pay 55,000 American dollars a day. Wow. No man, these are not clowns. You just got to read through the line. Whose pockets are being filled up? Yeah. This is why you can only get 300 and something million, because the money is being siphoned off and thieving out from every angle of the project.
Yeah, of course, it can really split the three people, right?
So let me tell you guys, Guyana, if we don't find a team in time, which I doubt they can, to check the Payara 10 billion, Merry Christmas to all of you, my brothers and sisters, for this year. I will be around to wish all of you Merry Christmas next year with that same 10 billion Payara bill. Or before this year, because the time for checking those bills hasn't expired. So in the coming months, I'll use that to remind you and tell you guys, Merry Christmas for 2022. Yeah. That total 20 billion, brothers and sisters, is equal to 11 years of our budget. Do you have any idea what that means for every citizens in this country?
Nurses, teachers,
Let me say it.
police.
Let me explain it. If we are being shafted half of that, it means everybody's life would have been 4 times better than today. Salaries could have been 4 times right across this land. I hope you guys are listening. Hope you're noticing. Hope you guys are seeing the way the leaders of this country is allowing the oil people to take advantage of us and our children. Please take note and wake up. Wake up before it's too late. Have you ever asked yourself why we only get $300 and something million in the bank account in the United States for 2019 to 2020? Just 1 year. Have you ever asked yourself that?
Many times.
1 year, 2019 to 2020, we get 300 and something million in profits. It should have been over 3 billion American dollars, not 300 million. 10 times that 300 million. It means your lives could have been 10 times better now as I speak. Just think about that and go to bed. A gentleman had asked me Friday. He told me, Glenn Lall, when I listened to the program, I just can't sleep all night. And I did tell him, brother, if you know it's going to affect your health, just go to bed and don't listen to the program. And I really mean that from my heart. If you don't have a good heart, then don't listen to the program. It's sad and it's sickening what's going on in this country. But you know why that is happening, Josh?
Yeah.
Because of those types of arrangements. Because of that type of arrangements have us where we are today. Hungry, with begging bowls in my hand, running to beg international banks to borrow a few pennies to buy COVID medicine and to share out a couple hampers. Many times in my silent moment, when I read these guys' names or hear their names pop up in any discussion, I ask many times in my soul if these guys don't have any shame, you know, to do the people of this country things like this. Their own brothers and sisters. Imagine you doing business with a man and every day he spends money on this business. He tells you that you got 24 hours to check the bill. And if you don't, within the 24 hours, you have to accept it as it is. Man, which fool agrees to a contract like that? With any business? Huh? You know of anybody?
Nobody.
Well,
Not a soul.
well, listen who accept things like that.
Hardly.
A moron, a blind man, or a plain thief man. Let me say this. Would you allow your father or any relative to agree to such terms and conditions in a 50-50 business, man?
No way.
Hell no. No. You must whisper to the man and say, no, Paps, no friend, you cannot do things like this. You will be shafted. Hear more. Listen more of what the coalition instructed Raphael Trotman to sign on to with this contract. Listen this carefully. If you audit the bill, hear this piece, the man. If you check the bill and find out the tin of milk, what I say is $5,000, is just $1,000, you still have to pay the man the $5,000. You didn't hear me, man. Did you hear me? Let me say this again, man.
That's a contract or that's a con?
If you find out the hammer is $3,000 and not $25,000 he bill you for, you still got to pay the man the $25,000 for the hammer.
Wow.
My God, you're still alive. Thank you. Thank you for being alive. And thank you for giving me the wisdom. Thank you for sharing with me this vision, this knowledge, so that I can talk to Guyana and all its people as to what is really going on in this land. You hear me, guys? If you find out that the hammer is 3,000 and not 25,000, if you find out that the tin of milk is 1,000 and not 5,000, you still have to pay the man the 25,000 plus the $5,000. Hear that? You may want to ask me what really I'm talking about. Not true?
Correct.
Yeah. You may even want to say, I am making up this. No, sir. No, ladies and gentlemen. Glenn Lall is not making up anything. It's the fact. The contract says so. It says if you have any dispute with the costs, then we have to go to arbitration. Yes, before a judge to rectify that.
Where is the judge?
But you have to pay it first. You hear me? You have to pay the milk money and the hammer money first. And you got to pay the price what he give you it at. And when you go before the court to settle the issue, if you win, most likely you're going to win. 100% you're going to win. You're not certain if the oil company will return the money, them can you or overcharge you. Knowing how these oil people behave and operate around the world, guys, trust me, you'll never get back the inflated money them charge you. Never. Take note. I am giving you a warning. And I'm so happy that what I'm saying is going on record. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook. 50, 100 years from now, it will be there. Guys, not even a prep A student would sign terms and conditions like that in a contract.
Only corrupt or governments do that.
I believe some of you tired hearing me. Or you want to hear some more, Josh?
That's it.
Yeah? All right.
Expose
Well, listen to how more sad and sickening this contract gets. Yes, what we agreed to, what the leaders of this land settled for, all those expenses and the production costs, let's say tally up to $1 million a day. Hear this, man. You gotta hear this one. The oil company is allowed by the contract to take out 75% of that every day before profit is shared. You hear what I said there?
What is this?
Huh? If they hand you a bill for $100 million a day, they are entitled to, they are allowed to take out 75% of that every day. You hear me? In the costs and the production costs. So they take out 75 million out of the 100 million even before Exxon bust up profits. So the 25 million left back is then split in two. 50-50 we call it. Isn't 50-50 we got, man? Yeah, man. We got 50-50 profit.
Out of the 75,
Yeah,
very inflated.
yeah. And all Guyana is happy with a 50-50. Me got one editor-in-chief, used to be editor-in-chief, Adam Harris. Every time you talk about profit, he jump in and say, but boss, you forget I just get 50-50 profit. I only hope Adam Harris is listening to me. Adam went and done take out 75 million out of the inflated cost. You left with 25 million. Out of that $25 million, then it's split in two, Adam, 50-50. Exxon take them 50%, which is $12.5 million. And Guyana gets the $12.5 million. Man, you really got to understand what I just said there. Guyana get 12.5, Adam, while Exxon walk away with 87 million and a half American dollars every day out of the 100 million. And if you're worried about that, what you just heard, Mr. Harris, wait, more to come. Don't grind your teeth yet. Relax, take it easy. Out of we 12.5 million we get in profit, Raphael Trotman agreed in the contract that Guyana will pay ExxonMobil taxes out of that.
Wow. That's nail in the coffin.
Our taxes, our tax rate, let's just put it 25%. I think it's a little more. Take out 25% out of we 12.5 million is about 3 million, just over 3 million. So that leaves Guyana with barely $9 million. So Exxon now walks away with 91 million out of the 100 million. Guyana left to settle with 9 million. That is proper business. That is what you call business, Adam Harris. Yeah. No, I don't vex with him. There are many people in this land, very educated people, you hear me, that I have grown to understand and accept that mathematics, business is not their take. You understand? But what Adam was getting away with, he government people by government, hey, it's all the leaders saying that's a good thing, 50-50 profit. So I'm going to tell him, look, you don't want to hear what I was telling him, but you have plenty leaders. 60 out of the MPs them in Parliament doesn't understand anything about business. I don't think they even understand what I'm saying here right now. Yeah. You hear that? Now you guys should be crying. You shouldn't grin your teeth. You should be crying about that. You know, Bernard, I am betting my life. I am betting anybody that 9 million US dollar we get cannot patch a piece of the roads the oil players have damaged and continuing to damage daily. Any bets on that one too? Yeah?
I agree, and you know,
All right, I'll be taking telephone calls in a minute.
see the condition it was now, yeah?
I am not only betting 1-1. I am betting 5-1. Bring it on, I'm ready. So call in, give me your names, and we'll take the bet. Guys, where is Guyana in this business? You think we're in a win-win situation? Or you want to say it?
We do the example contract with
You guys are smart. Many of you are smarter than me, man. You tell me if we're in a win-win situation or the other one. Listen to me carefully, guys. Do you know what is the most disgusting part of this entire episode? Listen to this. The president of this country called Guyana is Mr. Irfan Ali. He is doing nothing to correct this and to the many, many more sickening provisions that is sleeping in this contract. He is doing absolutely nothing about this situation. You know, I was having a drink at Sleeping last week and met two white guys that work with ExxonMobil. One of them said, this is one of the few remaining countries in which a white man is still being treated like a white man.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I looked at him and smiled and asked him, how can I be a white man? And he smiled. Yeah, man. Yes. Guyana, I need help. Father above, I need your intervention to quickly save this country. You remember, Father? You remember the Canadian listener who texted me back? He said, hurry, please. So please help us. Guys, despite all that, I can still see some glimmer of hope. 5 years after this contract was signed with ExxonMobil and Trotman, the new Minister of Natural Resources who take over from Raphael Trotman, a man named Vikram Bharat, has finally spoken his heart, in which he publicly admitted that the contract is lopsided and that the terms do not give Guyanese the benefits they deserve and that the government would have hoped for. I felt nice when I read that in the newspapers. Those words coming from Vikram Bharat, the new minister that took over the ministry. He made those comments Friday and said he expects that the local content aspect of this project will make up for the money we're losing from that lopsided contract. I had a laugh when I read that. I wanted to ask this headmaster if he have on his headmaster brain or if he have on a business cap. You see? He doesn't understand a bit of business. I would like to have a discussion with him, a one-on-one discussion with him, or any one of them. I want to have a one-on-one discussion with any one of them in the opposition or in government on this type of a matter. The minister went on to say, he is open with any organization or agency for them to benefit. Lord, wait there. Another minister at the same forum was urging local businesses to grab up a slice of the cake. You hear that? Another minister was urging businesses, local businesses, to grab up a slice of the cake. So I want to ask both ministers and all the politicians, what, where, or which cake these people talking about? What part of the slice or what part of the cake is for Guyana? When all the local content, the main parts of it, already grabbed up, gone to the foreigners. The helicopter services, the supply boats, the airplane services, the food supplies, and every part you can think of has gone. gone because that is the big money. They're all gone to the foreigners. So which part of the cake, what slice of the cake Guyanese getting, Mr. Barrett? And how and where are we clawing back money for the Guyanese people? You need to answer those questions. Those are very simple questions, meaning what and where we can grab onto. What part of the cake? Not the crumbs. Because you're talking about slice. Where the slice is, you need to let us know. Or are we the citizens to claw back from the few penny paying jobs? You need to come on the radio station or call in. You can call my number 624-6456 and I'll answer you. And we can have this dialogue. We can have this discussion live on the air so that all Guyana, right across this world, can hear you people. Call us. Don't open your mouth and say we lose out there, but we can gain here. Show the nation or tell Glenn Lall so that I can tell the nation through this radio program how they can benefit. Or you guys talking about the low-end jobs, the little cleaning services, the security guards, the little taxi walk to fetch them to wine and dine. If you're talking that part of the cake is for we, I can understand. Because that's the only thing I'm seeing right now. Is that the money you're talking about? No, brother. No. The Guyanese people need all these supply centers, supply boats, helicopter services that belong to us. That is part of local content ministers to which our policy dictates for us. Meaning every Guyanese, not foreigners. Guyana, you need to pray, not once a day, but you all need to pray all day long if you all want a good life with this wealth we have in this land. Before I give you guys a chance to call in, please let me say this. The biggest difference between money and time, you always know how much time you have, but you never know how much time you have. You hear me? You always know how much money you have, but you don't know how much time you have. Please enjoy every moment of life and do the right thing. What is the right thing? The right thing is live and let others live. What you say, Joshua?
Agreed.
I did not say namaste. Can we have your questions and comments, please? This topic needs your input. It needs your input. I am thirsty. If I'm not going to get any more calls, I have many more to tell you people.
I have one quick question.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen by slice comes?
How you can slice crumbs? This is how you can slice it out the crumbs. This is what I want to do.
If I ever?
You ever seen anybody slice crumbs? Because only the crumbs fall off the table we get in, so how you going to slice the crumbs?
1 second. You're live on air, sir. Hello? Yeah.
Alright, let me just remind you.
Listening to us right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and the 99.5 FM. The you have a call. The numbers for you to call is 226-7453 and the 226-7454. You can SMS or WhatsApp us on 622-2222. You can also call us on WhatsApp as well to save your credit. You can call us on 622-2222.
Joshua, you get tired sometimes talking these things.
Glenn,
I know.
You know in Trinidad, they have national helicopters. Is it Trinidad company, a local company?
Yes, pull your mic.
Take the caller. We have a caller in line. Caller, good evening and welcome to the Glenn Lall Show.
Mr. Lall, good night to you and your team, sir.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
And I must congratulate you.
You sound like
On
a
this
minister.
program.
You sound like a minister. Let me hear you, minister.
No, an ordinary citizen, a small business person.
You sound like a minister. And I was so happy because I want this discussion with a minister of government or one of these member of parliament, brother.
What about the goals?
What are the financial goals?
Let me ask you. Let me throw this one at you here, right?
Yes, go ahead.
Despite what you're doing and sensitizing the Guyanese public,
Yeah.
now I sure 95% of the Guyanese people know we get a wrong deal. Now, what the Guyanese people doing about it? Nobody in coming out and protest. Nobody in doing nothing. So these people realize that the Guyanese comfortable. They ain't doing nothing. So nothing won't change.
Well, I tend
that-
to disagree with you. The things I said there just now, I don't believe 90% of the people in this country understand what I just said there. Had you known what I said there just now before?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm listening to your program,
Right.
right? And I'm being aware. And a lot of people listen to your program. Now, when I don't listen to your program and I go and reach my friend and we hanging out,
Yeah.
right? I throw the bar on the table.
Yeah.
So they learning too.
Right.
And that is how other people learning about what you're saying.
Yeah.
And they got 3 movies. I watch from South America with Ghana and the African country where the people them do with them people.
Yeah.
And if we don't be careful here in Guyana, the same thing happen to we here.
I hear you.
And it might be more worse because Guyana can't even defend itself against Venezuela.
It's well the contract, listen to me carefully, the contract that we sign on to is the worst contract the world has ever seen in the entire 20th century. I have asked Mark Baino, who were heading the energy department. I have asked ExxonMobil. I have asked so many of the government leaders to just name me one single contract that come close to ours, and none have responded to me. So what you're seeing in Africa and Asia and some of the Arab nations with oil and gas, even Trinidad and Tobago, our sister country, we will be worst off if we don't get this contract changed. You understand what I'm saying?
That is the thing. They campaign, everybody campaign and say when they go in, they can change it. Now when you go in, it's something different.
Right. Little Suriname.
And the thing is this, look, Trinidad realized that they made a lot of mistake. And Trinidad now is advising the Guyanese government, don't make the same mistake we make. And they're far right in the trap of making the same mistake over and over.
Yes, Mr. Keith Rowley, I recall 3-4 years ago, I carried some stories. I put him on the front page of the Kaieteur News, in which the headlines, I wanted to flash the headlines in the faces of the opposition, the coalition at the time, and the opposition who was presently in government. And guess what? These guys have just turned a blind eye to these things. Why? Just read through
Well,
the
the
line.
thing is this, Guyanese in the whole, Amerindian, Portuguese, Indian, black, Guyanese in the whole, once you're Guyanese and you're living in Guyana, need to come out and Protest. There's the only thing you could do, and stop sitting on the bottom house and drink 2 beer or a little wine.
Let me
and
tell
discuss
you.
it right there and left it right there.
Let me tell
because
you.
nothing will happen.
Let
Once
me-
these people realize they ain't getting a fight, they won't change nothing.
Let me tell you this, my friend. Let me tell you this. Just educate the people, and they themselves will come out. Take time.
Live
These
your hope,
things- My friend-
they come out too late.
My friend, I've said it many
Because
times.
I'll go done, you know.
I have said
I'll
it.
go done.
I have said it many times. Let me repeat it. This oil business is not huge. It is gigantic. It takes countries, it takes people to fully understand it 20, 30 years. But that was yesteryear. This time, we got to use our brain faster than that. If not, by the time we wake up, it will gone. But we're getting there, man. Let them read the Kaieteur news.
Could you, Mr. Lall, could
Yes.
you recommend some kind of tonic to the Guyanese public so they could use and let's store something up in the brains?
Coconut water. Coconut water and vodka.
Good night to your team.
Good night.
Good night to you and your
Thank
team,
you.
sir.
Thank you. Very interesting. Thank you. You're on air.
You know, me from Trinidad, right? And I love that piece of program you just come across with.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because this government out of the $91 million, if he getting back something in pocket.
Nice.
You think so?
Yeah. That's what is happening in this land, brother.
Yes.
What?
He just got me for sink all the Guyanese.
No. The oil really belongs to them, not us.
Yeah.
What they're throwing at us is not even couscous or the crumbs. Listen to me carefully.
Exactly. Yeah.
No. You listen to me carefully. It's not crumbs.
Yeah.
It's not crumbs or couscous.
Yeah.
What the damage to our infrastructure. I keep saying this thing over and over. The damage to our roads alone, the money we will be getting cannot even patch part of it. Part of it.
That's true.
Right? So we are in grave danger, brother.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank
that's
you.
True.
You share. All you have to do is share these programs. Call out your neighbors, your friends, everybody, just to listen.
Yes, that's
Right?
true. Well, I was saying majority in the morning.
Thank you.
Thank-
I wanted some photographs with you guys holding posters or a little
Thank you.
paper in your hand that says change this contract now.
Yes.
You
yes.
see, if we don't bind together, if we don't band together as a people, as a country, as a nation, these
Yeah.
people will not understand and they will sink us further. We need to stand up as Guyanese
Yes.
and drop this race. We are one. We are Guyanese, brother. We are Guyanese sisters. And send us and let's show them. Right? The momentum is picking up slowly. I've been talking to so many people. I get so much messages every day that I can't read them. But the messages that is coming in, the feedback that we are getting is very, very, very positive. We will force them. Don't worry. Mr. Ali and Granger them will have to change this contract.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
Thank
true.
you.
That's true. Yeah.
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you. Have a good night.
Caller, good evening and welcome to the Lall Show.
It's not a good evening at all with the stuff that I'm hearing here, man. Mr. Lalawana, how come you didn't tell Joshua good night tonight, man?
I did tell him that.
Anyway, on a more serious note, I want to know if you're really serious with what you're saying. I mean, you can't be serious. I heard you use an analogy saying that if a tin of milk is $1,000, Exxon charging us $5,000, and our leaders are accepting this without questioning it. I heard they even let the time period to audit the spending that ExxonMobil is doing and these other companies are doing to elapse, which will definitely cause us to lose out on billions. It's like, I can't believe it, Mr. Lall. Are you serious about what you're saying here?
That's a nice question. I myself, as a businessman, is shocked, my friend, because I don't know of any idiot who would sign a contract accepting these terms. Man, no market vendor would do a business with a fellow vendor in which time limit is out to check spendings. Only a moron or a thief, man, would do things like that.
True,
What
true.
is going on here in this country with our wealth, with these foreigners? It's like our politicians telling them to just take the wealth and go along your way. Fatten your country, fatten your people. Live
This
like
is
kings and
horrible, man.
queens. And leave Guyanese. Leave us with no biscuits in our children's lunch kit. That was a good,
Wow.
that's a beautiful question you asked here. Thanks.
Well, before you go, Mr. Lall, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but what can we do to prevent this exorbitant spending of our monies, man? What systems can we really put in place? As you seem to be a person that is learned about this whole oil industry and so on.
Brother, the first thing we have to do is to get proper, honest, and decent auditors, people who we can trust. We have to bring our own people to authorize all these spendings, who understand the business and don't left spending on the oil players. That's the
Yeah.
only way we can see our way in this, our way, meaning our pockets. With this type, with any kind of business, man, you gotta have your own people to check these things, to authorize all spendings. If not, you're doomed.
Wow.
If not, cat will yam your dinner. That's
Definitely.
that's where we are.
Wow. The thing about it is that these people get a whole lot of big fancy qualifications, but one thing they're lacking is, matter of fact, not one thing alone, apparently they're lacking two things, a brain and a heart.
You said
And I
it.
know this was this right from them.
You couldn't-
Anyway, don't stress yourself out too much. You have a good night and stay safe. We are praying for you.
Thank you. You said it well. We need to check the brain and the heart. Yes.
226-7453 and the 226-7454. Those are the numbers you can call us on this. If you have a question,
I have. It's a simple question, but why is it taking so long for the government to put this audit team together? Is it that the work is too complex for the people that we have? Is it that we do not have accountants, auditors? What's the delay? It's costing us $10 billion US, $20 billion US. If Guyanese could just imagine what that could do for our country in 1 year.
That's a beautiful question you asked there. Why our leaders is taking so long to put systems in place? That is the most important question. Why our government not putting systems in place to control the spendings, to authorize the spendings? The thing baffles my mind.
Yeah.
It baffles anybody's mind.
Who are they working for? They work for the Guyanese people or working for the oil companies?
I don't know what is going on.
The
I am baffled, my friend.
The president of Trinidad says that he's working for his people, the taxpayer, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes. No. Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister said he's working
Yes,
for the best interests.
Yes. And he showed that by calling the company, oil company to renegotiate.
Yes.
Why aren't our leaders calling them to renegotiate?
But we are not only here. We are not hearing about this or the team putting together. We are not hearing a word about any business
Yep.
transaction on the oil sector from any one of them. Joseph Harmon is the opposition leader, and he had promised since they come out to hold a special oil and gas press conference. And now, you're not even hearing a word, much as the press conference. But he did came out and said, well, Patterson went on some radio program and speak for the coalition. So you gotta ask the question, why this silence? Why this silence?
Caller, good evening and welcome to the Glenn Lall Show.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I have been basically living in the UK for about 20 years of my life, and I've recently returned home. I've been following this program for a long time, and I had planned to retire in Guyana, but from what I'm hearing right now, I just want to pack up and leave this country. I'm honest with you, because if the politicians in the first world country was doing these atrocious things, they would have been jailed. And I want to know, where is the police in this? Where are the opposition leaders? Where are even some of the educated lawyers to, file cases against these people?
That's a nice question.
This is outrageous.
Hold. That's a nice question. Where are the lawyers? I've been trying to get some lawyers to take a few issues with ExxonMobil to court. Do you know that I can't get lawyers to? All of them are tied up. And it's not that they're not getting paid. All of them tied up within the oil industry. So we are all doomed. A friend is
They
telling
have
me,
a lot of cowardly people in this country, honestly.
no, not cowardly.
Corrupt.
Not cowardly. They are selfish people. They look out for themselves and that of their pockets and their families only, my friend. Yeah.
What will happen to the future generation then? What will happen to their future generation?
Brother, that's a beautiful question you asked me. But I have hope. I have hope. And things will change. Things must change. Things have to change. Not in this 21st century. If we were talking about the last century, yes. But not with today's technology. No, it will not happen. We will not sit back idle and allow this to perpetuate itself on the Guyanese people. No, we will not. I will not. And I am certain that the Guyanese people will not let me down.
We are not going to be like us.
And you will not let me down too.
You're a very strong man, Mr. Lall, because I don't think I can do what you're doing right now. I don't think so. I already want to leave this country.
No, brother, don't do that. Don't do that.
Fight.
Don't do that. Your livelihood is here. A good life is here. And as a Guyanese, you deserve your portion of it. It belongs to you, man. And let's band together. Let's bind together. We will make it. We can. We can.
I'll take your word for it, Mr. Lall. I'll take your word for it.
Don't throw
Have a good night.
Thank you. Don't
right,
throw
man.
your hat down like that, man.
Feel free to visit us. Have a great one.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
Bye.
And come and join me any Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Come and sit in the office with us.
Come join us.
You have a good spirit, man. That's the kind of spirit I want to hear.
Yeah.
You have a good spirit. I could hear it in your voice, but you got a little weakness. Need to come out. Need to be eradicated.
Indeed.
Yeah, man.
All right. I think we tend to forget our people joining us on Facebook. We have quite a few comments. I'll try to bring in one every now and then.
Yeah.
Mr. Lall, you said that we have a limited time to check the expenses, and if you find discrepancies, they are still allowed to take out the money.
Yes. Yeah. That's a contract. That's what the contract says. I find that not moronic. I just can't find a word to describe that.
Imbecile.
You know, it's like you hand a man a bill. You buy a bicycle for $10,000. You hand the man for $100,000. You give the man a bill for $100,000. The man have to pay you the $100,000 and then take you to court. What kind of? I really don't. I can't fathom this thing, man. This thing is mind-boggling. You understand? Who would sign on to a contract like that? So it means that ExxonMobil can hand us. ExxonMobil can wake up one morning and say, listen, you got $5 billion more to pay here. And they will take it out from the oil. They will take it out from the oil.
Yeah.
Okay? Give you less profits. Until you challenge that matter before, go to arbitration.
Wow.
And if you win there, of course you will win. Right? Hello, you're not certain whether you'll get that money.
Wow. So I'm just wasting my time. Wow.
You understand? So it's like, we really have a contract? We shouldn't talk about a contract anymore.
It's a con. It's not a con.
It's a con.
It's not a contract. It's a con.
This is a con.
Just in addition to what you were just saying, the contract, it seems like the ministries or the ministers, for instance, Mr. Barrett, who finally may have been the first government official to admit that the contract is indeed lopsided. I mean, he admitted that, but none of them have said anything about changing it. And that was one of their main promises when they were campaigning to get into office.
Yes.
What would you say about that?
They have not said a word about fixing it, correcting it, or getting it right. True renegotiation. Not a word they have been saying. All you hear they're saying, we will try to claw back value lost from that by way of local content. And girl, even the local content jobs, all gone.
Yeah.
You guys remember I talk about the rental of the boats and the transportation services. Look at the roads and see who's pulling those pipes, who's working for the oil companies.
Trinidad and
Not
All
Chinese
gone
people.
to Trinidadian companies.
Yeah.
Look in the streets, man, and you can see their names on all the container trucks patrolling the road. All are foreigners. So what is left for the Guyanese people? True local content. The low-end jobs. That is what is left for us. You understand? And these are questions, Bernard, the minister
They have to
and
answer.
Jagdeo them should be answering.
They should be answering. Because
These are the questions they should be answering.
all the transportation we have is the minibuses taking the oil workers from the airport to the airport to go on the helicopters going to the ship. But you know, in Trinidad, they have a national helicopter company in Trinidad. That's a Trinidadian company. They provide offshore transportation helicopters to the oil rigs and the ships out there. Why does Guyana have a national helicopter company in Guyana? So,
Makes no sense.
You know, them talking about, our leaders are talking about a national gas plant. That's what they're talking about. And here is money right here now to be made right now. Put a few dollars, get a few people, tell a few people, say, hey guys, put together a couple of helicopters, and you guys can take over a service. They're not telling us that.
What about a national oil company? Why do we not have a national
Well,
oil
a national oil company is another kettle of fish.
It's a
right?
big kettle of fish, but at the end
It's
of the day,
it's
could be
another
a-
kettle of fish in which President Ali said he leave that for the business people to handle. There, you see, in every sector of this oil industry, there is business.
Yes.
But they have some that you will not make it, right? And some where you can make it. So President Ali is giving that to the business people, which will not work.
No.
So that's the kind of game they're playing. That's the only thing President Ali ever talk about. You understand? And that's a dead donkey. It's a dead donkey. Yeah.
I have one last question here. You and a man have a business, and he giving you a time limit to check the bills. You got to be crazy, Mr.
Yes.
Lall. I don't believe you.
I myself want to know if I'm crazy. I myself want to know that, Josh. Guys, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's what the contract says. And what is going on presently makes me want to vomit sometimes. All this that I have said, anybody can go and read it for themselves.
Yes.
It's on the website. It's in the contract. If you want to get a pen, it's easy though. Resourcecontract.org. Let me repeat it. You can go and read it for yourself. Everything that I have just said there on resourcecontract.org. And just go to Annex C. Annex C has all the accounting provisions. Everything is listed there, brothers and sisters. You want me to repeat it for you guys?
Yeah, you should repeat it.
Resourcecontract.org. O-R-G. Then go to Annex C, and every single accounting provisions is there. Read it for yourself, please. Please, I know some of you are going to ask me if my head right. No, don't ask me about that. Everything I say is spot on. Is 100% spot on and correct. Just go and read it for yourself. That's a beautiful question.
It is.
Resourcecontract.org, Annex C. Every single thing is there. Every word that I spoke on this program is there.